Hello, everybody. This is James coming to you on another Florida Lifestyle episode with the Florida Lifestyle Podcast. And I'm grateful today to have Mr. BJ join us today and tell us about his lifestyle experiences and being a Floridian. How are you doing today?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful. Thank you for having me. Hey, there's a lot going on in the lifestyle now. We're transitioning. So for me,
Okay.
it started lots and lots of years, over 35 years ago.
So you've
Um,
been a lifestyler for 35 years.
yeah, it's been on and off, but the majority of the last 20 some years, it's been one of those flowing things. So, um,
Okay.
as I said beforehand, you start out somewhere and a young pup in this game. It's not quite like the lifestyle is now. Back in 88, 89, 90, those were the times where we were still using pagers and people were signing up to go to parties and you were there to perform. So different
Okay.
aspects. Lifestyle wasn't quite the lifestyle then. It was still that taboo.
Now I
Um,
have a question. Have you been in Florida the whole time?
I have not. I
That's
spent
interesting.
a little over 30 years in the army, so I
Okay.
got to
Awesome.
travel a good bit and see
Thank
from
you. Thank
yeah,
you too as well.
yeah, East Coast, West Coast on how transitions. I wouldn't say that I thought that the lifestyle was a lifestyle back then, but thinking about it, the transition that we have made from being a low base, I call it escort. You're there to perform. You're there to do something. To the nude into the lifestyle, how the lifestyle transitions. So I've got to see a lot of phases of it where not a lot of many people have. Um,
Yeah.
my last 10, 11 years with my partner now came with a lot of trials and tribulations, bringing her into the lifestyle. Um, there is a lot of ups and downs. You are grateful when you have the best experience you can, and you can actually bring another partner into it, and you both can enjoy it as much as you need to and you like to. Um,
Right.
I think that's the problem now is there's a lot of things that I talk about with my podcast. I talk about why people get into it and talk about people why they shouldn't get into it or why they should take a step back. The kind of the underbelly of it, and that's what I bring to the
Well,
table. I know
now
exactly
what
the
is your
underbelly.
podcast? What is
I'm
your
sorry.
podcast? So people, what is your podcast so people
Oh,
can
I'm
know?
sorry. It's the acronym KISS. Keep it simple, swinger.
Okay.
Um, we have
Yeah. Make sure
uh,
y'all click on that in the description at the bottom,
yeah,
guys. It's going to be in
yeah,
the link in the description right there.
yeah,
See?
and I'll put it in there. We are
Oh,
trying
that's a
to.
great hat. Make sure you get
Yeah,
that merch. Make sure you get that merch from him.
yeah, I got one for you when I see you next. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. Hey, so I like to talk about the very down and dirty of stuff, the stuff that I've
Okay.
experienced, the stuff that has puts your heart in motion. It makes you think about other people in the lifestyle and how they react and how social media has made this whole it's not a fiasco, it's a moving train. It just keeps moving faster and faster because we're all
Okay.
fueled by media, and media
'Cause
is
I started in Craigslist days in
yeah,
2012.
Craigslist
I,
day.
yeah,
Yeah.
when you had to go on casual encounters, it was like a secret society.
And it
Almost.
is, and that's why a lot of the companies that I was introduced to gave pagers because they didn't like to advertise so much that because these are healthy and wealthy people that want people to perform.
Correct.
Um, so like I said, we have transitioned into so much from the newspaper into the AOL phase and all the way into the what was it, MySpace and all this other stuff that we traveled into. It's huge. But the media is a frenzy for everyone to make that mighty dollar, and we are hugely forgetting about the human aspect of it. Um,
Ooh, I love this conversation, BJ.
yeah, the
That's
human
what made me
aspect of
start
it.
the lifestyle for all us Floridians to be
Yeah,
one and unite because I noticed that, man, it's becoming like like you said, a market more than
It is a market. We've went out of the sheer we want to enjoy somebody out of the vanity phase. And listen, we're all attracted to something. As my wife would say, she's attracted to human smarts and intellect. And there's our knuckle draggers. I call myself a knuckle dragger, but I still have a little bit of the intellect as well. I kind of know the system.
right.
And I use it to my advantage because in the lifestyle, yeah, we want to have friends or we want to have acquaintances. Um, we will put a lot of emphasis on exactly who we are, what we want, and what we want out of that experience because lifestyle is just that. You entertain a thought that you don't have with somebody else, and it is okay because there is an allowance of that, your spouse, your significant other, whoever's involved with you. So we're not hearing the bad stuff like the divorce rate and
On it,
there is a
speak
lot
on
of
it.
yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff and there's a lot of good stuff. For the amount of good stuff, there's just that much bad stuff. And I feel so that's the kind of sort of stuff that I like to talk about. I get into it. I want people's notoriety. If you see my stuff on Facebook, I put it in our own little section there. The conversations we have some places I don't, Paradise Lakes and Caliente, all of them, they all have the same. And secrets has become so huge that we're
Yeah,
just taking money. We're just taking money there. And that's a
yeah,
sad part because everyone knows secrets. They don't know. Well, Caliente should be notorious as well, but you have Paradise Lakes, you have the Tree House, you have all these, you know, there's just a lot of places
other
that people can
places.
go.
Right,
If they would do their due diligence, people would have way more of a variety to do
right.
whatever their fantasies are. So yeah, it's been a long 30 some years, almost 40 years now.
And I
And I
could
will
tell
tell
you're
you,
very passionate about it. I could
I
tell
am,
you're very passionate about it.
and
And
I am.
especially seeing all the transitions from, like you said, newspaper ads into the media world. It
Yeah.
took a whole nother, yeah, because I feel that way. And I started in Craigslist. You know what I'm saying? And I
I
started
mean,
young.
Craigslist was
I'm still
popular.
mighty
Yeah.
young. I'm in my late 30s. I'm
Yeah.
38, 39. But I
Hmm.
started in my mid 20s, and it's a way big change from that little bit of time in those 12, 13 years. The whole dynamic has changed. Like you say, it's more of a it's I feel like it's more of a fad now. Like a
I I will
see me,
tell you,
see me, let's
yeah,
be cool.
yeah.
Instead
Well,
of just like this is what's for my relationship.
well, media is duly noted. There is a lot of frenzy into this, and because we want someone to watch what we're saying and doing, we go ahead and we advertise that stuff. And unfortunately, we're not really appealing to the lifestyle criteria. For
Yeah.
instance, you said you started out as you were 20. Think about the 20, 21-year-old guys, single females, and couples now at this point. They're flapping in the wind. They know no better. Now, if you and I would have had this stuff whenever we were that age, it would we'd be paramount forward. We'd probably be having dates with robots at this point. You know what I'm saying? If we had that back then.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Right. Right.
these guys here that are young at age and though you are 37, 38, I have kids your age. So
Right.
my deal is they have taken a different path, thank God. But the kids today, they don't know no better. The etiquette just it sucks. You don't have an old head, us,
Right.
trying to kind of sponsor them and show them the etiquette and how to understand the room and the vibe and what to say and have compassion. They're just in it to win it, and that's it, whatever it takes. And that is
Right.
fueled by a lot of the stuff that we do at these resorts, i.e., merchandise looks pretty, people get dressed up as pretty. I think we're losing the whole aspect of the lifestyle.
And that's deep what
People,
you're saying, because when you see a lot of I study this lifestyle like you do as well.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah,
see a lot of people online.
Mhm.
everywhere saying they're missing connection. They're missing connection. We missing
Yeah.
connection. But they're playing. They're going out everywhere, but
It's
they're missing connection. They're
I
missing
think
connection.
I think a lot of that is the self-esteem level that met the social media, and they're afraid to shoot their shot because they feel like they're not in their playing arena. And duly noted, when these tribes and these cliques and these little bunches of groups get together, they kind of do force you out. It's I was trying to think of the term that we would use. When you have your own tribe and you have an
Segregation,
indoctrination. Yeah, segregation's
kind of
good.
a
Uh,
segregation.
yeah,
Yeah,
and it's almost, to be honest with you, it really borderlines something very, very demeaning for people in the lifestyle, because they'd probably like to have a connection and see where it goes with somebody, but unfortunately, they don't feel like they're in that arena that they run in. I.e.
uh,
the pretty outfits, or this is a high low kind of thing. You got people that have self esteem level, they have marriage, relationship issues, and they're trying to, which should never happen, but it happens. They try to put band aids on stuff, and next thing you know, there's a problem. So, yeah,
uh,
we have a lot of things that we could contribute us by doing these things and trying to teach these people that it's not you. The social media has about 75% of it, and the rest is the social aspect.
correct.
We have a lot to learn. So, most of my stuff that I talk about, I duly know I will talk about everything on the highs and lows. I might not
And
be
you guys be
attracted to
sure to
somebody.
check that out. You see how deep he is, man. Be sure to check
Yeah,
that out. Link in the
yeah,
description.
yeah. I will put that basically into aspect. I have to do that. So, um, we could go on and on and on and on, and I have tons of stuff that I've bottlenecked, and I will use it. I actually listen much. It's kind of a training for me. I go back and I listen, and I train and I listen. You
Yeah.
know,
I like your mind, BJ, because I study. It's because I thought I was alone with the studying part of the lifestyle. Like I like the lifestyle and
yeah,
everything, but I'm really passionate about it. And I sometimes you
yeah,
can feel alone because even though people I know they're in the lifestyle, like you said, it's more like, I started a brand, of course, but this
right.
is more
And
for
that's okay.
everybody. But it's not for selfish manners, Like
Right? No, no,
I
I
I
got you.
want
Yep.
that's why I called it Florida, so we could
Mhm.
be a collective. And I made the style so people
Right.
could wear it in public discreetly, but still with some kind of class to it.
I,
So
I,
I wanted
I
people to be able to be out in public to represent the lifestyle with some type of style to it and elegance to it, you
you're
know?
you're
So
bringing
so
you're
people,
bringing a niche. You're bringing a niche to what your topic that you feel passionate about, and that's exactly why I started the Kiss. It's keep it simple, swinger. It's keep it
keep it
simple.
simple.
You have to keep it simple. You just do. Um, we can learn a lot from everybody. We have monthly house
Yup.
parties so that we invite whoever wants to come. We don't discriminate against anybody. And
Yeah, we
even
don't
even
do
if
that out part.
even if you feel like you have a group of people that won't ever give you the time of the day, we still invite them. And it's just for
Yup.
purposes that we know that we don't have that ability to go, because they may have a few people that may want to come, and we may enjoy them as well. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
dynamics that goes on. You have to have
And
a good
people,
dynamic.
people, people be picky and selective at parties. Me and my wife and it's not like that because, like you said, people discriminate at certain parties. Like I noticed as being a party planner over a year or two, you'll put out a
Mhm.
list. People are like, "What's the list? Who all coming?" And that
Right.
kind of like when I see people do that, I kind of know. Really, I don't. I don't. I'm gonna be blunt. I don't like respond to them because I'm looking
Okay.
at it like you're looking unless it's a conflict you have with someone, you're looking
Right.
for just the look of somebody. And my parties are not built off of just physical attraction. It's built off of connection and really getting people to make friendships at the lifestyle parties. You know, even though you might find somebody you're attractive, I don't play with everybody at the parties all the time. But
Makes
you
sense.
know,
Yeah.
right. But I still enjoy their company because we all of the same mind and under the same umbrella of thought with the lifestyle.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's
You have to come to the party knowing that you can make a connection. Maybe not a start to finish connection, but that connection might end to another connection. And I get what you're saying.
right. Right.
Um, some
I
people
want to.
will
I want to
actually
create
look
a
at the
place like
list.
a. I want to make a house that people could come and invite. That's why I make it small so people could interact and be more conversational. Because we have enough places where people could go and meet mass people and not conversate. You have
Right,
resort here, resort here, resort here. I'm creating environments where people could be more social
right.
and because I know how important the social aspect is and building people personal connections and getting to know somebody personally, you know, and swapping numbers with people. Hey, we might be friends. Let's go hang out. And you know, I made parties where people exchange numbers plenty of times, and
Oh
they're
yeah.
probably the best of friends now on their personal lives. And I have no awareness of it, but I'm glad I was helped to inspire that.
Well, we do that. We do that at our parties. It is very paramount that you make connections. You want people to make connection because I have a saying. It's one that you probably heard. There's an ass for every seat. I get it. That's how it works in the lifestyle. Your ass may
Yeah.
not fit my seat. I get that. And
Right.
sometimes people have a hard time with that, but you try to respond as best as you can possible without them knowing you enjoy their vibe. You're just not in their completion of that vibe. It's we
Correct.
have cards. We do stuff here that if you feel like you are not extroverted enough to go ahead and remember someone's name, we do cards. We have little cards that are made up. We have a little an IDC card. You just tap it and it gives you the information of your phone because you try to keep up with the times. Um,
Yeah.
we want a safe environment, and
Yes.
I know what you're doing is just paramount forward, and you're doing the right thing because most people will make connections that way because some of them are kind of introverted, and that's what they want. They want a little bit of entertainment. We have that here. People say, I want to play card games, a kind of segue. You know, we try to do the
Right.
pool, we try to do the playroom, we try to do the hot tub, we try to have conversations and stuff. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You can get lost in 4 or 5 hours and just be talking and kind of get to know
Yep.
somebody. So it
Yep.
is what it is. I will I will always tell people there is a positive thing that you come out of it. If you go home and you either tell 10 people about the party or you validate. Validations used to be kind of faux pas. They were like, you're just trying to validate and put more people. No, I want people to know the good and the bad. I like people. If you feel like there was something wrong at my party, please let somebody know, or at least put it in there. I'm okay with that. No one's going to get 100%. So, but that's how the
Right.
experience is. Not everybody's going to have a good experience. Case in
Right.
point. But
That is case.
like I said, we could talk a million one miles and hours on this one, and I got a skaboodle. It's all ranking from who wants to interact with who does profiling, who does networking, profiling, what sites are out there, what clubs are out there that do all the really down and dirty stuff that a lot of people really know about.
Right.
Because I'm observant. When I retired, I told my wife, I said, we're going to go to all these places and we're going to get the down and dirty if we like it or not, but we're going to take some information from it as well. That's the kind of stuff I
Okay.
like to put out. So,
You're a very
um,
intelligent man. I'm glad to speak with you through this
yeah,
podcast.
I'm glad we had a connection to get it done because it's sometimes the schedule can get kind of weird, but I
Yeah.
just want
Yeah.
people to know that we're decent people like any other people are decent, and we want everyone to have a good time. Safety, that's the big
Exactly.
thing.
Exactly. And that's
Um,
why I created the podcast. And that's the purpose of interviewing all the Florida lifestylers I can in
yeah,
Florida to show
yeah,
people. man, we're regular people, man. This not like what people portray it as. You
Yeah.
know, I get like I hear people who's not in the lifestyle related, they be like, the villages, man, it's this and that, man. It's that. I'm like, yo, that place ain't what you think it is. It's like
Nah. I
it's
mean,
definitely not Secret's Hideaway or Caliente.
no. There's a tiny excerpt from some time ago, and people just ran with the notion. And to be honest with you, if you were to look at the way Secrets is a fast moving pace, they have
Yeah.
only moved faster about taking your money and putting you into the lion's den, because hypothetically you really can't enjoy Secrets like you used to. Now they put a
Okay.
lot more restrictions over there,
Okay.
which makes it harder at certain times for people to connect. So, um, there's a lot of things. The villages, I am sure there's a time frame, a place, and what have you. But I'm sure it is what it is. But um, yeah, I didn't know how much time you had. I know you were trying to keep it to a small gasp on there,
Yeah, it's
but
just for because like we were speaking about the mind, attention span. So it's just
yeah, no,
just for
I
the
got you.
attention span
Well, let's end it
as
there. Yeah.
but we're gonna connect. I'm gonna say it live on the episode. We're gonna connect. I have ideas that I put in play, and it goes in sync with your mind and how you're teaching. And I definitely want to have you incorporate it with what I want to do. So we will talk more.
Yeah, let's
Definitely.
talk more. And if you wanna peck at my head again, have a part two, three, four, what have you, I'm all for
Okay.
it, because I have segments that can very, very well benefit exactly what you may or want to portray. And it might help you
Okay.
segue
Awesome.
some of your things that you're trying to do as well. Um,
Yes. Yes, man. I'm all. That's what it's about. Networking. That's the best work is networking.
Networking is a big thing. Big thing.
I'm
Let's
telling you.
let's convene, and then let's talk a little bit offline, and we'll go from there.
Definitely. You guys check out the link at the description to make sure you go to Kiss, right?
Yep, Kiss. Yep, I
Kiss. You're
will.
gonna see the link in the description. I'm gonna have
Yeah, I'm
all
gonna
it,
put it there.
get the merchandise
Yeah.
and everything. So guys, make sure you support him, support all the lifestylists because we're all one community. Now, before I go, I got one more question.
All
When you
right.
hear Florida Lifestyler, what comes to your mind?
Just what it says. There's a unity out there. Florida people, lifestyle people connection. You want those connection. You want people in Florida. That's kind of how we've been. We only want to connect pretty much so in the general area with Florida people. So the lifestyle seems to be a lot more convenient in Florida. So Florida lifestyle, there's a lot of great people. There's a
Right.
lot of great places, and that's exactly what you're hearing. It's Florida lifestyle. It is a prominent
God damn.
situation with it. So you guys are doing good. Florida is just it's the mecca. Let's just put that as the mecca, okay?
Damn, man. I
But
couldn't say it any better, man.
lots of love for the Florida lifestylers. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. And you're located in Florida as well, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's
That's
right.
right. That's
Okay,
right.
my
So,
good man. I'll get this sent out here, and
okay. And
we
we will
will.
contact soon.
All right. We'll talk to you later, man. Thank you very much. We'll
All
talk to
right.
you
Thank
soon.
you. I'm
All right.
grateful.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.